This chapter for me was a really shining moment and a great spotlight for Sanji. I really enjoyed it, and I really especially enjoyed seeing his new moves.
One Piece, chapter 415, Heat Up. Oh boy, heating up.
Sanji taking it to the next level. Woo, boy! Well, hello, my brothers and sisters of the Nerd Nation. I, as always, am Jim, here to bring you another review on the awesome and action-packed and Sanji using his new red leg flambe jambe diable power tale of One Piece. Now, our last chapter, of course, saw us, the fight raging between Jabra and Sanji was almost the exclusive, I mean, it was the focal point of the chapter, obviously, and things ended off with Jabra trying to go and trick Sanji, as he had tried to do with Sniper King the chapter previous, and saying, here, take the key, go ahead, Robin's actually my younger sister, we were separated at birth, or something, or separated when we were young. And Sanji went and pretended to go, like, picked up the key or whatever, but he knew the attack was coming and just jacked Jabra up, you know, and that's how obviously the chapter ended. So that's where things leave off. That's where things pick up, and it's great because Sanji starts it out and he's just like, oh hey, look, I got the key, and he's like, you stole my key, and Sanji's like, you gave it to me, and Sanji's like, see ya. He starts running, you know. And what I like about this thing is that all he was doing was trying to position Jabra, in my mind anyway, to get him off guard, right? So Jabra goes and shave, you know, disappears. As he reappears, Sanji goes and does this like backward spin cartwheel kick, like backflip kick right in his fucking face, you know. And Jabra's like, oh. And this chapter, kind of as expected with some of these bigger battles, this chapter, for a good majority of it, it winds up being, it starts out it being this back and forth affair. But really what winds up happening is it winds up being showing us Jabra and his pretty much entire moveset. He keeps trying to come at him with the 10-finger pistol, the Iron Body Kung Fu, the Wolf Tempest Kick, everything that he can possibly do, you know, to certainly come and take out, you know, Sanji and whatnot. He even winds up using this one move, Lupus something or whatever, you know, and I don't even know about that, so, or what to think about that much. But for the most part, like I said, this whole chapter to me was to showcase Sanji and him really coming up with, you know, with some new moves, a new moveset, or kind of taking some of his moveset that he has to the next level. Because up until now, yes, Sanji's had some great fights, and ultimately you know that he's very fast and he's very cool with all of his different French words that he goes and says while he does these different cool kicks and everything like that. But there really was nothing that kind of like took him to the next level, as far as visually, you know, just to go and kind of see like the embodiment of what was going on with him. And that's what I liked about this chapter, because it showcased that. As they wind up going and again fighting back and forth and whatnot, they're actually fighting in kind of the middle part of the tower, I guess you would say, where they're fighting kind of almost like on these inner balconies that they have, you know, and attacking each other and hitting each other. And, you know, and of course, like I said, you got him using, Jabra using his entire arsenal of moves just to do whatever he can. At one point, he actually goes and tries to piss off, you know, Sanji to get under his skin. And because Sanji says, oh yeah, sure, you're her little brother, or she's your little sister, right? Yeah, try selling that one to somebody else. You're gonna have to lie better than that. And he talks about how he's not going to run and everything else, because Jabra obviously accuses him of running, and then Sanji just, you know, fucking flattens his face. But anyway, what winds up happening is Jabra then tries to get under her skin, you know, calling her worthless and this and that and blah blah, and all these negative things that he's going to say about Robin. And Sanji's not buying that. Sanji ain't gonna, you know, Sanji goes and he just says, you know, you better watch out what you say and this and that. And Jabra goes and he's trying to throw him off guard. He's like, you know what? The more you care about this person and the more that you go and you just fight with like the pure anger and intensity that people have, the more likely you're going to be to make a mistake and leave an opening for your opponent. And that's the gist of what he's saying, is that, you know, when you get angry and you fight just with that pure anger or hatred, you wind up leaving yourself open. And that is the truth, you know. You have to go and you have to still be able to take somebody out methodically, you know, and basically playing with your strengths against their weaknesses, as opposed to just being like, I'm mad, I'm stronger, I'm going to come at you, because that does wind up leaving an opening for your opponent. So it's definitely very cool how all this was trying to be played out and whatnot. But Sanji went, and as he got angrier, he all of a sudden, after he took a bevy of hits and there was an exchange of blows between him and Jabra, Sanji just starts spinning in a circle like a ballerina. And I'm like, what the fuck is he doing, right? He starts building up speed, and the speed that he builds up actually increases the temperature of his leg, right? And then he winds up going and pulling out this Diable Jambe! And I don't even know if I'm pronouncing it right. It looks like, you know, like the French version of Diablo, which obviously means devil. And then Jambe, I don't know if that's like supposed to be like a French word for like cooking, like a flambe or jambe or something like that. I don't know if the whole thing together means red leg, whatever. I just know that Jabra's like, holy shit, his leg is turning red. And as Sanji's spinning and getting ready to go and fire up and do this, and then all of a sudden he just comes at him and BAM! Just nails him with this thing, you know, and goes and puts him into the wall. He's in the wall, and Jabra's like, oh shit, my iron body's not working. It feels like my bones are on fire, right? So Sanji putting this to him. He put the screws to him, boy, you know. Now Jabra, though, he's a strong, formidable opponent. He's still got some left in the tank. As cheap of a fighter as he is, he's still a powerful adversary, right? So even after he goes and takes this hit and whatnot, Sanji goes and tries to go and like kind of jump across, like from one side of this balcony to the other on the inner part of this Tower of Law that they're in. Tries to jump across, and he's like, well, you're trying to come in a mid-air attack on me. Moonwalk. And then he winds up moving out of the way. Sanji goes and misses his attack. He's able to come at Sanji with his 10-finger pistol as they're kind of both falling towards the ground. At least that's what it appears like to me. As he comes at him, Sanji goes and is able to block one hand of it, and he's like, oh yeah, fool, if you had just been quicker with your other kick, you would have been, or your other leg, you would have been able to go and block my attack and block the entire 10-finger pistol instead of just half of it, right? And Sanji's just like, no, I needed my other leg so I could hit you. My other kick, my other leg was to kick you, you know? And he winds up coming at him at the end with this, man. Oh, just so beautiful how he does it. Here we go. Moonlight 10-finger pistol. And then you've got all the nonsense that's going on after that. And then he's like, you just blocked one hand. So close. If your other kick had been, you know, had been in time, you'd have blocked all the 10-finger pistols, right? And then Sanji, on the contrary, the other kick was to finish you off. And then we get the Diable Jambe Flambe! And he just goes, boom! Shot! And just takes his ass out. I am hoping, beyond hope now, that Jabra after this is just KO'd and knocked the fuck out. Because it looks like he just definitely took a, looks like he took an otherworldly kick, man, from just somebody who now, in my book, has a lot more respect, just for his strength of will and everything like that. And really, I like that he kind of evolved his moveset over here, you know? He evolved his moveset, because there's only so much that you can do with the flashy kicks. Yeah, it's very cool, it's very neat looking. He's drawn in this tall, lanky type look, so his legs look like they're just incredibly long and everything else, right? And that's cool. That really does. A lot of the different things that he's done are cool. I like, as annoying as that one goofy cook ramen noodle kung fu guy was, or I forget his name now, on the sea train. As annoying as he was as a character, it was neat to see Sanji go and actually use his hands and use some you know, butcher knives or whatever he wound up using, you know, to go and fight him for a portion of that fight. And how he kind of like broke his vow of not using his hands, but really didn't break it because it had to do with like food and chopping up food, so it didn't go against like his stuff as a cook, you know. So it was really cool to see all that stuff, and I really feel like this has been a great arc for Sanji as well, to go and kind of go next level and power up over here, you know. Whereas we've seen in the last couple of major arcs that we've had, you know, through Alabasta and then obviously Skypiea, we've seen Zoro and some of his moveset, and obviously in this arc as well, you know, Luffy's always coming up with new stuff, it seems like, for every major battle. Sometimes he goes back to some really, you know, some favorites, you know, with the Gatling gun, the Storm, the, you know, the rocket, all that type of stuff. But anyway, I don't want to get too much off topic over here, because obviously everybody winds up evolving and kind of going to the next level. And seeing Nami's fight as well, I think was very good in this one, because of the fact that now you see that she has better control over an actual climb attack that actually works. It's not like, I mean, Alabasta, the thing was like a freaking joke, how it kept popping out all kinds of different party favor type things, you know? So it was neat to see her too. So I really think that kind of, that everybody in their own respect and right has gotten some shine and some attention, some spotlight, I guess I should say, some spotlight time on them. But I feel like Sanji, because he goes and disappears for chapters at a time and then goes and reappears, whether he's gone or whether he was knocked out, whether he was, you know, with the golden bubble stuff, I think he came back in with a vengeance. And honestly, these last couple of chapters have been a couple of my favorites so far in the arc. So, and now I know that there's still going to be the Rob Lucci and Luffy fight to come. I know obviously we still got to see Zoro and Kaku fighting, but ultimately, so far, I really enjoy these two. So that's how the chapter ends off. And actually, my chapter question for you, brothers and sisters, is what are your thoughts on Sanji and his newfound move, or newfound move set, I guess you would call it? Being able to do that, and yeah, you can find whatever plot holes in the actual fictional character and what he does, you know, about spinning and heating up and everything else. But all the basic elements are there. Obviously, you know, the more centrifugal force that you create, if you can create it fast enough, yes, it is going to go and heat up things, and he's going to be able. But I'm not going into the realistic nature of things. Just as far as for this cool character that we have in this wonderful tale, what are your thoughts on the new moves that he's kind of developed or acquired over the last couple of chapters and used to obviously defeat Jabra? Leave your answer to that question in the comments down below. Feel free to hit the thumbs up, the like button if you should think that I deserve it, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. We will look forward to catching all of you in the next Fun Nation.
Remember to follow me on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram and my other channels too.